up, though, everybody? Man, that sounded a little wacko tobacco. What up, though, everybody? Welcome to Detroit. What up, though? Tonight we're going to be doing a special presentation of Lions free agency coverage. Uh, as always, thank y'all for watching, tuning in. Please subscribe, Detroit Fan Report. And let's introduce our guest.
What's going on?
What up? I was gonna say that's you, Nate.
Oh, well, you introduced me. Nate from One Ass Cheek and Three Toes. Our podcast is on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow us. And excited to talk some Lions free agency. Seems to be the bully pulpit for a lot of people's negativity or positivity. So I'm down to getting into it and see what's up.
Yeah, because I think as I was reading Justin Rogers, as he was saying on Twitter today, the main storm has already went through. The rest is, pretty much is going to be a trickle, and that's through across the NFL. But the Lions, I did read, Nate, 11 signings. That is the most since 2021, and only the second time that they've had double-digit signings. What do you think that means? As far as the team.
I mean, the way I look at it is that, and I've said this pretty. Sorry, I'm watching this game too. I said this pretty clear that when you pay Jared Goff the money you pay Jared Goff, which was around $50 million a year, you have to go cheap in certain areas, and you're going to have to get rid of good players. And we saw that this offseason. We didn't see that in past years, but this year, even with Goff's restructuring, the Lions had to say goodbye to some good players. They had to say goodbye to Monty. They had to say goodbye to Alex. They had to say goodbye to DJ Reed, Akwedi Muhammad.
DJ Reed.
DJ Reader. I'm sorry, DJ Reader. DJ Reader, Akwedi Muhammad. They had to move off of some players. And what you have to do is you have to get cheap replacements. And that's what Brad is doing. He's getting cheap replacements that either can give you the same kind of potential or even better if they get a bigger role, And some of these guys haven't played a lot in their previous teams, and so Brad is going to give them a bigger role going forward. So it's just how roster construction works. I think there's a lot of people out there, and I'm not using you as an example. I'm going to use some of these other people that just really upset me, that don't know how football works. You have to understand when your team is successful for a couple of years, your players get more expensive. You give out extensions. And in essence, you can't keep everybody. And so you have to go out and get cheap replacements in order to keep the train running down the tracks. Now, whether it equates to a Super Bowl this year, I have no idea. I don't think we're Super Bowl bound this year. I think another offseason, and maybe we can have that conversation again. But I do think we'll be a playoff team, and I do think we'll be fighting for the North. So it just depends on whatever happens. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm not disagreeing with anything you said. I think that is very well spoken. But I will add, I think it also means they're going younger. And also, when go back to when we lost to San Francisco in the NFC Championship, then it was one and done versus the Commanders. Last year we don't make it. you're not going to get rid of your studs, right? Your stars. You got to make some changes. Got to shake stuff up because it's the description of insanity. Keep doing the same things, hoping for new, different change, different results. So, I mean, obviously we didn't go do no major things, but I like some of the things we did. So
yeah.
All right, let's get into it. So you did mention this. We'll talk. The Lions traded Montgomery to the Texans,
right,
for a guard, Drew Scruggs, a fourth-round pick, and it was a seventh-round pick, right? Or
seventh. I think it's the seventh and a fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, and Drew Scruggs. Honestly, we got way more than I thought we were going to get. I was thinking a fourth,
for sure.
maybe, or a fifth, maybe fourth, right? That'd probably be the proper language that I want to use. So,
For sure.
But there was also talk that the Texans and Lions had a deal in place, and then another team, which was rumored to be the Broncos, chimed in. So, yesterday's price ain't today's price, right? So, I mean, you want them or not, right? So they had to juice it up. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, a Donkey Kong. I agree on that. I mean, that's Brad's bread and butter. But I don't think that necessarily it's a desperate situation because he's got a lot of good replacement guys, 1-year deals that he filled the roster with. But yeah, he's got to come out with at least 2 starters in this draft, no doubt. Sorry, I was just answering the question there.
Oh, you're good.
So here's the thing with Montgomery. And I'm going to be very clear about this because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have a different narrative. Montgomery the Lions did not want to give up Montgomery. Let's just stop that noise. Okay. Montgomery wanted out because of the fact is that his role was reduced because of Jaw's success. And I don't blame him. In any job situation, if you get to do less and somebody else gets more shine, yeah, you're not working as hard, but when you're not appreciated as much as that other person is, it bothers you. And so, the tweets, the cryptic messages, like, come on, man. It doesn't take an idiot to figure out that he didn't want to be here. Okay. And so what he did was he didn't make it publicly, which I appreciate that about him. And usually most Lions players, they don't make things publicly. Like Decker kind of made it a little bit louder than expected. But it never came out that he wanted to be traded. But I promise you what happened was after the season was over, when Brad and Dan do their exit interviews, they sat down with him and he's probably like, listen, guys, I'm not getting the results that I want to. I still feel like I have a lot in the tank. And the reality is that, Ja is going to be a 3-down back, which means that you're going to see less of Montgomery out there because they're going to run more 12 to 13 personnel when they're going to have more 2 tight ends out there. That's why they got Conklin because Petzing likes to run 2 tight ends, just like he did with the Cardinals. So Monty's role was going to diminish regardless. And what the Lions did is they did the same thing they did with Stafford. Stafford went to them quietly and said, hey, I want to be traded to the Rams. I don't want to be part of a rebuild. Okay, cool. But send me to the Rams. And Monty said, I want to go to Houston. And they did that. And I applaud them for that because that is good management. That they did right by their guy and they still got good compensation for him. So it was a win-win on both sides. But let's stop this narrative saying that the Lions traded him. You think the Lions really want to trade a guy that's been as successful with Ja as it's been? No. Hell no. He wanted out. And he got out. And good luck to him. because he definitely he didn't upgrade on O-line. That's for damn sure. Like he went from worse O-line to better to even worse. But go ahead. Sorry.
Like I said,
I don't agree with that kid.
Yeah, that's so wrong because this is what I always say.
He was under contract. That's another thing. He was under contract.
Yeah, exactly. This regime has always told you what they're gonna do or give you hints. If you just listen at the end, the exit press conferences, Brad said it right. He was asked flat out about Monty. He said, "Yeah,"
and maybe they did, and maybe
he wasn't going to be back.
And just with getting money said, and getting money said maybe they asked him to take a pay cut. Okay, they gave you an extension before, so if you're not willing to take a pay cut, then they're not going to reach an agreement, and then that's where the disconnect's going to come from. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, but Brad said that they were going to leave it up to Monty.
Yeah, he said the situation was fluid at the combine, which I knew that he was out.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't have a problem with it. You're getting up there in age. You're almost 30 years old.
Yeah, he's reached that 30 peak. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he was really, so I get it. I understand. He was well liked. You've seen, the reactions by his teammates, which is fine, right? I have no problem with it. He was definitely one of the pillars, right, to this new line.
He was a big part of the run game. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
So,
I do think that injuries, his age, maybe he did want more money, which I mean that's always the forefront of a lot of things. Listen, people have to understand, and just so frustrating talking to Lions fans sometimes because I feel like I have to educate them on how football works. The reality is that when you pay big contracts to Goff, Panay, Amara, J-Mo, Mac, Hutch, you have decided those are your guys that you are going to run this team through. So when you pay all that money, I think it was $250 million, something like that they paid out in extensions or whatever.
Well,
it was.
And you didn't even mention Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby too. Yeah, Kirby. And then they're about to pay Jack. Jack's going to get paid. Ja's definitely going to get paid. So
Laporta's due up as well.
Probably Laporta too, possibly.
Brian
maybe Branch. Well, we'll
these
see.
Are all guys that are due up,
Right. So the thing is, it's simple math. If you pay all these players, you're not going to be able to pay Monty another extension. You're not going to be able to give Alex another extension. You're not going to be able to give Aquadim Muhammad $5 million more than what he was making. You got to cut the fat somewhere, and that's what they're doing. Good organizations know when to move off of players. Look at the Eagles. The Eagles had to move off of Blankenship. Blankenship's one of their best players in the secondary. Do you think they wanted to? No, but they can't afford it. They gave Jordan Davis an extension and have not even played Jalen Carter yet. They're trying to trade Jalen Carter because they decided that Davis was more important than Carter was. And they know they're going to have to pay Quinyon Mitchell. They know they're going to have to pay Cooper DeJean. Like, all this shit adds up, man. Like, people need to understand that it is not because the Lions don't want these players. It's just they can't fucking afford them. Like, that's the reality. They cannot afford them. They don't have that kind of money because that money's tied up to either extensions going forward or it's tied up to the draft class that they got to pay for. Like, that's it. Like, it's simple stuff, man. Like, these haters or so-called Lions fans that don't know football do not understand how the hell football is operated. This is not Madden. You can't just buy every player you want and make them all stars. You have to have role players. What Brad is doing is he's filling this roster with one-year dudes or dudes that still got stuff left in the tank that can fill a role that we need. Another defensive end, another secondary guy that could be used in multiple positions, a starting center, another defensive end, a linebacker. Like, my God, like, he's just building the roster. That's all he's doing. You can't build the roster with just the draft. You have to get cheap free agents. Like I told everybody, The Lions' methodology every freaking year in free agency has been the same since Brad and Dan have taken over. They make one big signing, and then the rest are all either 1-year deals, 2-year deals, and that's it. They don't go big money hunting. They get one free agent, just like the year before. They got DJ Reed, and they got all cheap deals after that. That's all they do. People need to either get with it or get the hell off it. Sorry.
Oh, no, I agree. You ready for the next topic?
Mm-hmm.
Love you, honey. So, this is the first big signing. Cade Mays. I don't know all the guys, money part of the deals. I mean, I do know his, but I do know one thing, and I'll say this at one time. And there was consistent on this free agent class, I guess you can say. They're all 1-year deals.
Mm-hmm.
So you can come off every single one next year.
Sure. And you do the same thing. You go out and get another 1-year deals with the guys. Like, that's how you're going to have to do it. Like, this team cannot afford to go big game hunting in free agency because of all the extensions of the players they're going to have to sign. And that's not a bad thing. I want you to sign your own players. If I had a choice of bringing new players to the roster or signing my own guys, all day I'm signing my own dudes because I've developed them. I draft them. I know everything about them. They know the culture. They know the scheme. They know the coaching. It should be a match made in heaven most of the time. Rather than bringing somebody.
Dan said that years ago, 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah.
He said, I'll give my own people in my building the money.
Exactly. So I don't understand what the hell's wrong with people. Like, Dan's already said this from the get-go. We are a draft and development team. Do not people understand what that means? Draft and develop. You draft the player, and then you pay them. You develop and pay them, and that's okay. I want homegrown talent. I don't want to bring in guys that don't know anything about the Lions culture, don't know anything about Lions football. Maybe you can sprinkle in like this guy, Cade Mays. This guy is a Lion. He's hard-nosed. He's a good guy, good character, high character, captain. Like, he is a good fit for the Lions. But they're not going to go out and get a guy like, just throw a name out there. They're not going to go out and get a guy like George Pickens, okay? Even though, like, even if we had a need for a receiver, they're not going to go out and get a guy like George Pickens. George Pickens is selfish. He's got issues. He gives up a lot of times. They're not going to go out and put a player in a Lions uniform that does that, period. So the thing is that they're going to make certain signings that are best fitted for them. That's it. It's not for the fans. It's not for you and me. It's not for the media. It is for whatever they feel fits the need. This guy fits the need of what we need. We need a center, a young guy, a strong character guy, and a guy who I think is just reaching his potential. Like, he's got so much more to go. He's only been a starter for like maybe more than a season. Like, so he is.
My bad. Nate, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying that he projects farther going forward. That's why they want to keep him.
Yeah. So, he definitely is younger. But, maybe not a vet because, like you pointed out, he's only have so many starts, but he's got experience, right? He has played center in the NFL and has done well, right? Like, that was one of the reasons why we were stuck with Graham Glasgow last year, because Goff didn't want a young guy. Which, okay, cool, whatever. That didn't work. So this year,
let's
our way.
We are going to trade for Max. Brad was never. Yeah, I agree getting money. I think that he made calls about Max, but reality is the report was the only team that was willing to offer 2 first-round draft picks was the Ravens. And the Cowboys, I think, came in second with possibly 2 or a player or something like that. I think Brad called about it, but he wasn't going to get
definitely reported he did.
Yeah, he's not going to give up 2 first-round draft picks. Hell, nobody's in it. Like, if only one team gave up 2 first-round draft picks for a guy like Max Crosby, that tells you right there that the Lions aren't the only ones that said, "Nah, we're good." You know. So, and I don't even, and to be honest with you, I don't even think Parsons was worth 2 first-round draft picks either. Dallas got lucky on that one because he was maybe worth 1. You know, but the Packers desperately wanted the guy for a one-trick pony for 2 first-round draft picks. No, I'm not doing that crap. Like, Max Crosby is better than Micah Parsons, in my opinion. The guy can stop the run, and he can actually rush the passer at a high level. Like, Micah Parsons couldn't guard a shadow. I mean, he's terrible against the run. He can't even cover. All he does is just rush the passer. And now he's coming off an ACL, and who knows what kind of get-off he's going to have now going forward. So, anyways.
Yeah, but back on the Cade Mays. But I like it. I think he was definitely an upgrade over Glasgow. Glasgow's, years are done.
Yeah, they really messed up on that,
also,
man. Like, yeah.
An interesting stat I've seen, I think in the last 2 years, he has not a lot of sack.
Yeah.
And if you watch the Lions games last year, our interior got blown up. That's where a lot of our pressure was coming from.
Let me say this about Graham Glasgow, because I think this was a big problem the Lions did. Is if Graham was going to be your answer for last year, that was a mistake. Because we all know that Graham Glasgow was 31 years old. He was kind of long in the tooth. You know, they were desperate to get some kind of center because Frank had retired, and they really had no plan. They wanted – I personally thought they should have just went with Tate, in my opinion, and put Graham at –
Goff didn't want that, though.
Right. And I don't blame him, because Goff wants somebody that knows the signals, knows the defense, knows the cadences, all that. So I understand that. But then Goff would also say, too, dude, Graham – there was way too much pressure coming out the middle with Graham, So I feel like with Cade, that's a huge upgrade. And I think that Goff will feel a lot better having a guy like Cade that's going to protect him from the big D tackles up the middle. And if the Lions can clean up the interior, we know what Penei brings to the table. I like the Larry Brum signing if he's going to be your right tackle.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, and I think the Lions will be fine. I really do. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean the interior was absolutely awful last year.
Yes.
I see a lot of fans, one Mahogany gone and everything, but like Mahogany
they were all about Mahogany before the end of the season last year. So funny.
But the thing is, your center was god awful.
Yeah.
Your left tackle, he was not the same guy anymore.
Yeah, he had 2 rookies in the interior, literally.
When you have, I mean, it's when either guy on your side is leaking, man, you're and it's still a young player himself. I'm not saying he played great, but like,
dude, the line was ass. Just say it. The line was ass. Like when you have pressure up the middle, you have pressure on the tackles. Everybody struggles. I mean,
and who's to say too? Like, I'm trying to overcompensate because my right sucks. I'm trying to.
Exactly. No, you're right, because Graham's not good enough to help out Tate and help out Mahogany or whoever the hell else was on the other side. And then Decker's got to worry about the other guard on that side, and Penei's got to worry about his guy on the other side. Like, yeah, it's overcompensation. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
I mean, because I remember Tate was talking about how he was having to get used to Penei. And, even though Penei didn't have his greatest year, and he said that himself, but his work.
He still kicked ass. He still had the highest run grade and the highest tackle grade. Like, yeah,
his work.
And he said he wasn't that good.
And I agree. But when you set the bar so high for yourself, right? Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what you're graded on. You're not graded on compared to Nate. You know what I'm saying? Or the next
No.
best
He
tackle.
holds himself to a higher standard than he holds to anybody else. I
But
agree.
Tate was talking about how, he could do less because Panay could do more, and he had to learn that, right? Like Panay would tell him, "Hey, I got this. You go on to the next level." You know what I'm saying? You go to the linebacker.
Well, the thing is too. Yeah, the thing is too, Rich, is like it's hard to learn when you're a young guy. It's hard to learn from a guy that sucks, right? Like if you're in a job and the guy sucks at his job, are you really going to learn anything from it? No. Yeah. So, I mean, it was just a mess, man. It really was. Yeah, I would say that money. I would say
funny
B
you were gonna. It's funny getting the money you did this because I was literally just getting ready to spit out my mouth. As we talk about these signings, I would like a grade. What? So what would you give it?
I'd give it a solid B. It could be a B plus to an A if he really protects Goff and opens up the run game, which I think he can. Because if you look at the Panthers, like he didn't give up sacks. That's one. That's a big plus. And on top of that, you've got to give him props for the run game they had with Rico Dowdle and Chuba. They had one of the best run tandems in the NFL, better than ours. So you got to give him credit there because he plowed the way for those runs up the middle. So I would say B plus to A after the end of the season.
Not to mention
B right now.
Being a center. This is my last thought. Then we can go on to the next topic. Is playing for Bryce Young. Bryce Young is what, 5'10", 5'11"?
Right.
And we just talked about how the worst pressure for a quarterback is right up the middle.
Yep.
Bryce Young had his best year last year in the NFL or in the league, right? So that so his center play was pretty.
He's gonna like playing for Goff at 6'5". Yeah, he's gonna like playing for Goff at 6'5". Say that right now.
So if you can block, because when you got 5'10", you get that pressure up the middle. That leaves a lot of opportunities for batted balls, right? Batted balls are just as bad as an interception, right? So overall, I think we both agree this is a good signing. Let's talk about the next one.
It's a necessary signing.
Isaiah. So me personally, I love this signing. I know what it was. I know he didn't come in to start. I love it. I think he's Monty as far as the power, but he's got the speed. Like, he's definitely fast. And Monty could go long. He could break someone. But I always loved, Nate, the way Pacheco runs with freaking anger. And he explained why he runs with anger. I think it was somebody died or something or whatever. Close in his family or something. And he just wants to run real hard. I love the way this guy runs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think angry runs are probably the best way to describe how he runs, pound for pound. The guy, I mean, I think I sent y'all a stat in our chat or something that he was 6 for 6 or 10 for 10 or whatever it was in short yardage plays. I mean, as much as I love Monty struggled in short yardage. Like, it was frustrating to watch because the guy could get you all the touchdowns in the world, but when you needed a third and short play, when Ben was here, he really had to be creative and dial up different plays. Like, you could just give it to Monty straight up, and that was concerning because one of the reasons why we brought in Monty was to help us get those short yardage runs, and I didn't see enough of those. And unfortunately, the Lions were put up in a lot of situations where they were third and short, and Monty couldn't get it done. I don't think that's going to be the problem with Pacheco, man, because when you watch Pacheco against the Chiefs, whether the Super Bowl, whether it's in the playoffs, whether it's in big games, he gets you those hard runs. and he runs angry. And if he can break those tackles, I agree with you. He has the speed to get to the end zone. He has home run speed. Monty didn't have that speed. Monty had decent speed, but he was never a home run hitter.
No.
But the way that JMO blocks and our receivers block, you get Pacheco in space, he's gone.
So I could see him and Gibbs, because Pacheco can catch now the ball too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I mean, and we just both agreed that he's got more speed than Monty. So if you have him and Gibbs, and I'm not saying he's as fast as Gibbs, that's not what I'm saying, guys. But that's just more speed, right? You already got JMO.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm responding to getting money here.
Yeah.
Money, what I'm saying is, like, in situations where the Lions were third and short, they didn't trust Monty to get the ball. And yeah, there's times he might have got a couple of them, but there were times where we're third and short and they were passing the ball. And when you're passing the ball with third and short, that tells me you don't either have faith in your line, you have faith in your running backs. So all I'm saying is Pacheco, from what I've seen so far in watching him, he doesn't have problems with short yardage. He finds a way. He's a hard-ass runner. So I think that's an upgrade over Monty, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's Monty. I mean, he's clearly a downgrade on Monty, but it's not by that much. I think people are going to really like Pacheco. And also, too, he's a really good blocker, too, which is key, because Gibbs needs to become a better blocker. But go ahead, Rich. Sorry.
I love you.
No, yeah, I agree. Like I said, I liked it.
you.
I love you too. I liked it. I was excited when this was announced, and 'cause I was a little I don't know, not losing sleep, but I don't even know if concern was, but like I was really wondering what they were going to do at running back too, because I definitely wasn't comfortable with Vaki, because we just haven't seen enough of that yet. So
Vaki needs to stay healthy, bro. Yeah.
I felt really good with this. You know what I'm saying? If we have to go in a game and use Pacheco, I'm okay with it. Just like I was okay if Monty was, right?
And also too, I think one thing that Pacheco is going to unleash in our offense with Petzling, or I hope I'm saying his name right, Petzling. I don't know, Petzling, I think is what his name is. He wants to get guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield, and Gibbs he loves Gibbs. I mean, who doesn't love Gibbs? Gibbs can do everything. However, you're going to see situations where Pacheco is going to be out there in some aspects, and I pray to God that they start doing more screen games, because having Pacheco and Gibbs out there, that screams screens, and you want to get these guys in space, because our Lions receivers are such good blockers that you get these dudes in space and they're going to the house. They're not going to be brought down.
Yeah, hopefully we're better in the screens last year, because it got to a point last year where some buddies I had in the chat, man, stop going to these screens, man, because they just didn't work. They were getting blew up.
Well, you're probably talking about the bubble screens, like with the receivers. I don't like those plays. Let me make that very clear. I hate those bubble screens. I'm talking about just a screen game, like you getting the running back with blockers in front of him.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and let that dude do his work, like. Because if you're running behind Penei Sewell, he's gonna kill everybody in front of him.
I'd like to see them use Gibbs in more actual routes, like Texas routes and stuff. Because you get him one-on-one with a linebacker, that's cookies all day long.
We've been hoping that for 2 years, and all I hear is talk about it. So I'm with you. I want to see some action with that, because you're really missing out with Gibby in the screen game, or putting him in as a slot receiver or passer, because he is just in space. Nobody's bringing this guy down, like literally. Like, just imagine if you're defense and you have Gibby out there, track speed. You've got Pacheco out there, really good speed. You've got JMO out there, track speed. Like, as a defense, what are you doing? Like, how are you covering that defense?
And Amon-Ra's got that.
Amon-Ra's got like deceptive speed. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Jerry Rice was, right? Jerry Rice didn't have a great 40 time, but man, he was a wizard out there, right? And I'm not comparing Amon-Ra to Jerry Rice. No. I'm just saying, like, as far as like their quickness,
that's fair. I'm okay with that. Give money. Yeah.
So, saying that, what's our grade here, Nate?
I'd probably go with C+, only because you're not getting better than Monty, but you're also unleashing some other aspects that Monty didn't have. Catching the ball in the backfield, breakaway speed, like more screen game. Like, I think you're getting more of that with Pacheco, but it remains to be seen. We have to see. All I know is what I see on tape, and I like his tape.
The only thing I'm going to disagree, well, I'm going to add, I'll say, you are getting younger with Pacheco.
True. He's got to stay healthy. That's the main thing.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, he's had some little injuries.
About the next one. Teddy Bridgewater. This is another one I liked. Yeah. I think this is an upgrade over Kyle Allen.
Oh, 100%. This goes without saying. Like, we just, that was the right signing. That's it.
I think it also adds. It's more than just on the field, right? Like, because he was a big factor in changing JMO around.
Yeah. He's a good leader to have, and the thing is that if, heaven forbid, if Goff went down, Teddy probably gives you at least a couple of wins at most.
I was gonna say I feel more comfortable with him than Kyle Allen.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
solid B.
I'm
happy. That was the one thing that I was like, hey, just get somebody comparable and somebody competent that can take over if Goff goes down and win you a couple of games. That's it.
This guy has future coach written all over him.
Oh, well, he's been a head coach in the high school level. Yeah, right. Hell, I want him to wear the number 50. What the hell? Wear the 50, man.
Hey, if you got defensive tackles wearing freaking single digits, why not, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay. Christian Eisen. This one, like, I've heard of the name. I know, but I'm not like too familiar with his game, so I'm not.
Okay, so this is exactly what I was talking about earlier about getting cheap replacements. So right now, our safety situation is a mess. We don't know if Kirby's going to be back this year. Brian Branch clearly is going to probably be gone for the whole season. Vontae Maddox.
Can I cut you in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So there was some positive news. Lions just gave him all his bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are taking that as good news, right? They just gave and guaranteed his money. So I personally take that as a good one or as a positive.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could be out there, but what I'm saying is right now, just from the standpoint of where we are in the part of the year, Kirby's a question mark. BB's going to be out the whole year, should be out the whole year, even though he says he wants to come back before the end of the season. I don't think he should, but whatever. If Tatum can come back from an Achilles, BB can do the same thing. So anyways, BB's going to be out for a minute. You didn't bring back Avonte Maddox. Right now you have Dan Jackson, Strickland, this guy, and Harper. Yeah, because Thomas signed with the Browns.
Do you not think he's more of a nickelback?
No, because I think somebody else is going to be the nickelback. Now, This guy could play nickelback if possible. This is a guy. This is how I'm going to say it. This is the example I was talking about when you build your roster and you go get a guy who hasn't really flourished in other offense or defenses, and now you're going to give him a bigger role. And you're hoping, I hope so. I hope so. Get money. That would be great. We need those two back for sure. This is a guy who you can develop, and again, you're not paying him a lot of money. He didn't have a big role in Tampa. He made some plays. He had some decent numbers.
He picked off the money.
Yeah. I mean, he's had some success, but this is clearly a guy that you're hoping you get more out of, and if not, well, you just move off of him after the season's over. But he's more of a depth piece right now.
He's a thumper, though. He is a thumper.
Yeah. I mean, the ideal situation is to have Kirby and BB back there. Those are your two guys. And then maybe I'm hoping Dan Jackson comes in. I was really a big fan of Dan Jackson when we drafted him. And it sucked that he got hurt because he's a thumper too. And I really want him to kind of fall into that third safety role. But it probably is going to be this guy. And it's going to be between him and Dan Jackson. I really do. Unless we bring back Avonte Maddox, which I would like to bring back Avonte because I thought Avonte did really well with us too. So maybe they bring him back later if nobody else signs him. He still is unsigned right now. So that would be great because if you bring back Avonte, you get Kirby and BB back, now you're solid. But if you don't bring back Avonte, then yeah, I agree. C grade for sure. But this guy could kind of be that Avonte Maddox or Dan Jackson. So, but yeah, that's all I really know about the guy.
So you said, who do you think gonna be the nickel?
McCrary.
Oh, I forget. Never mind. We'll talk.
Yeah.
My bad. I dropped the ball on that one. I fumbled. That's on me. We'll go to the next one.
Mm-hmm. TK.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Reliable. What can we say, right? Like, this is one of those guys. He's just like, I'm kind of being funny, but I'm not. You should
he's like Lazarus. He comes back from the dead.
You should put like his statue out there, right? With Barry Sanders, because and I'm being facetious, right? But like, I'm kind of being serious, joking, obviously, but you know what I mean, right? Like, this guy literally does everything you ask of him, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on the practice squad, up, down, release, back. But I mean, I'm surprised. He's like that pair of shorts, Nate, that you just don't want to get rid of, and it's all faded and got holes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You still see value in what you wear. Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I think for me, like, and I don't want to jump ahead because I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about this guy. Yeah. But before we signed Greg Dortch, I thought this guy was probably going to be your return man because he's had experience returning. But when we talk about Greg Dortch, I think that's going to be his role. He's going to take the Khalif kind of role. TK is a pro, man. He can step in and catch a ball in a pinch. You really look at it. Losing Khalif Raymond kind of sucked. I like Khalif Raymond. I hate that he went to the fucking Bears, but it is what it is, But if you look at the depth chart with the Lions right now, you have Amara, J-Mo, Tesla, and probably TK and Dortch. Unless they draft a receiver, that's pretty much your five receivers. So two of those guys are going to either have to have a bigger role or this could be special teams. See, I think they're expecting a really big season out of Tesla, which I am too.
But so Tom Kennedy kind of like proved. Remember they said the one reason why he could never catch on is because he couldn't play special teams. Well, hell, last year when he needed to fill in, when he took over Lovett. Remember, we drafted Lovett, and everyone thought that was.
Oh, I forgot about Lovett. Thank you. I forgot about Lovett. Yeah, so
that was going to be.
So he's in there. He's in that mix too.
And so last year, Tom Kennedy, man, he was making. He don't have great speed, right? But he's shifty. He makes guys miss, and that's what you need on returns, right? And also, he made some big catches, man.
Right.
You know,
Basically,
if you watch the playoff, I'm sorry to cut you off. If you watch the
mhm,
playoffs, which I know you do, I'm not
mhm,
questioning you. I'm just,
right.
so to speak.
Hmm.
It don't matter. Take Seattle for instance. Right? Jake Bobo. That
Hmm.
guy does not get like balls that way. But man, does he not
You
like
know,
just make big plays when you need him
he can
to?
make plays. I agree with you. I will say this about TK. I think his role is going to be more special teams oriented, like you mentioned, maybe on punt returns. I think Dortch is going to. I think Dortch, Lovett, and TK are all going to fight for that position. But TK's got experience doing it, so they might go with him. And the Lions love TK. But when you look at the pecking order of the Lions' passing game, you got Ra, who's going to get the majority of the targets, JMO, who's going to get the second part targets. Then you think Laporta is going to be that third target. Then you think Tesla is going to be the fourth option. And then even Conklin, well, we'll talk about him too. Conklin, he's a passing tight end too. And then you got Gibbs. So really, I don't think TK is going to see a lot of balls. I think it's going to be more in the special teams area. But who knows? Heaven forbid if one of our receivers go down, a guy like they trust probably TK more than just the other guys. You know, I think the Lions receivers are a really good spot right now. You've got your 1B, you've got your passing tight end who's going to be fine. Tesla, I think, is going to have a big year. I'm really excited for Tesla. I think from a passing game, you're fine.
I
Like you've
agree.
got a lot of good options.
What would you give this?
TK, I'd give a C. I don't think
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not expecting a lot of TK. Like TK is going to be
I
TK.
agree, but you
It's
can't
definitely
hate
going
it
to be.
either, right? Like
No, I don't hate it.
you just can't hate the guy, right? Because he always just does what he asks.
Yeah.
I think that's disingenuous. Getting money. D, come on, like
D. I mean, why do you give him a D? Because it's TK, or is it because you don't think he's gonna fit, or he's not gonna do anything? That's what I would ask. Like
yeah. All right, next one we got.
Trevor Nowaski. Okay.
This is a guy, man. I don't know. Flashes here and there. You think you got something, and then you don't. It's an Ed to me.
So,
Teams guy.
uh, forgot who. I think they brought Trevor Nowaski back before they brought Rodrigo back. So with Nowaski, Shep likes him. He speaks highly of him when he talks about him and his pressers. He's really the only Sam linebacker they have on the team. And he's had his moments. He's not going to be a starter. He's probably more of a special teamer, depth piece. We're probably going to talk about Rodrigo, but I'm really glad they brought Rodrigo back because I like Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo, he plays hard and, he can start in a pinch. He's got skill. He's just short, you know. But Nowaski, I mean, I really hated losing Grant Stewart, because I was actually a big fan of Grant Stewart. But it was between Grant Stewart and Nowaski, and I think Grant Stewart got up a little bit of a pay bump, so they just went with Nowaski. So, it's more of an incomplete for me. I don't know. I mean, he's just a depth piece. I mean,
Right.
clearly not him making. I'm not hating, but I was told he was going to upgrade the.
I disagree with
Yeah,
that.
I don't know about upgrade. I mean, maybe the special teams getting money. Again, I think it's going to be between him, Dortch, and Lovett for the return job. Because remember about Khalif Raymond, he not only returned punts, but he also could do kickoffs too. And he was your gadget kind of receiver. So you got to think about if you're losing that kind of skill out of those three guys I just mentioned, who do you think has the most ability to play that Leaf role? I would say probably Dortch.
The only thing I want to say about Leaf is, I alluded to it earlier. Gotta go younger, man, because you were seeing you were still getting kind of flashes of Raymond, but he wasn't that same guy anymore after them injuries, man. He was getting older. Like
Yeah,
it was
I
time to
agree.
move on.
I think the injuries definitely played a role. he still was really fun to watch. He has a lot of good speed. But I'm telling you, when we get to Dortch, that was one of the sneaky signings that I like the Lions did, because I think that you got a guy who's a little bit probably bigger than Khalif Raymond, but still kind of the same speed and wiggle. So, but we'll get to that. So go ahead. I say incomplete with Nowoski. I don't know. I mean, he's a death piece.
Incomplete as well.
Yeah, just a death piece. I'm not. Yeah.
Next. Tyler Conklin.
Yeah, bring the guy home from Michigan State. Yes. So I think the Lions desperately needed another tight end. Of course, Laporta going down. I'm sorry, Brock Wright is not a passing tight end. He is a blocker at best, and they need a guy that if Laporta goes down, they can get the ball to, or somebody who could at least give defenses respect that he can catch the ball. I think Conklin can do that. He's pretty athletic. He's a tall guy. He's had moments where he's had good passing years. He'll be a TE2 for most of the season. Hopefully Laporta stays healthy and comes back from the back injury completely. There's always an if on back situations, but I think Conklin could step into that role. And that was another sneaky move they made, because when Laporta went down, that offense went to shit. Like, because you lost your middle threat. Everybody keyed in on Jamo and Amara. Laporta does so much for this offense. He frees up everybody in the middle. Like, when Laporta is gone, Jamo and Amara eat.
Did he like it?
And so they didn't respect a lot of the Lions offense after Laporta went down. So I think the Conklin move was really sneaky good and necessary to fill in that TE2 role. I didn't want to go out and get a rookie for that. I wanted to get a guy who's already played.
So
and I think you still have Brock Wright on the roster too, right?
Yeah. So
Brock's there, yeah.
Here's my thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
His strength is blocking. He can catch.
Which is what we need, yeah.
But his strength is blocking. Sure. Brock Wright struggled in blocking last year.
He did.
And that was that's his calling card, right?
Yeah.
But I think also, Nate, and this tells me that the Lions are paying attention. So when Laporta went out, I agree with your middle. I'm not going to disagree. I will also add, and I brought this up at another pod. I forgot which one, but when Laporta went down, man. So he's a very good blocker, right? Too. I compare Laporta to. He's in the lines of George Kittle, right? They do so much. He means so much to that offense and receiving and blocking, right? Because everyone always pays attention to Kittle, his blocking, and how good he is, and which he is.
He can do it all. Right.
But then you look up and he's got 90 catches, 1,000 yards, right? But his catching is an afterthought, his receiving, because he is such a good blocker. Laporta's the same way. They use him as a fullback. They use him, to help the tackles out if they need to. He's in the run game. Just so valuable. And when that went out, that was a big cog to our offense.
Yeah.
Also, when he went down, then Brock Wright decided he was going to hurdle, and he hurt himself. Then we went down to third. Man, we were down to 6, 7 string tight ends, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we had tight ends I never heard of.
Right. This is what I'm talking about when I say TE2. Because I think what the Lions did is when they signed Brock Wright, this was my thought process last offseason. is like this guy has never really put up a lot of stats as a tight end too. Like you're paying him in hopes that he would develop into a tight end too. We saw that once Laporta went down, that offensive changed so much, and they didn't even want to go to the tight end because they didn't trust Brock Wright. Okay, so that's why they went out and got a guy like Tyler Conklin. Look at these stats here. So last year he only had 7 receptions for 101 yards. Okay,
Well, that's
but
really
I think
good though.
yeah,
I mean,
but
the
I
average.
think no, that was a season.
No, I'm saying the yards per catch average.
Oh yeah. For 7 receptions, but I think a lot of the reason why is because they had a lot of weapons. They had a Rondé Gaston who really popped as a tight end. But anyways, you look at the years before, the Jets 449 yards, 51 receptions. 2023, 61 receptions, 621 yards. 2022, 58 receptions, 552 yards. 2021, 61 receptions, 593. Those are tight end one numbers in some aspects. So what I'm saying is this guy can put up numbers. And this is why this is an upgrade over Brock Wright. And I give this a B because he's a damn good blocker, but this guy also shows he can catch the ball and be respected as a pass catcher too. So this is an upgrade over Brock Wright. And you still have Brock Wright too. So
the Lions organization has had this player before. Remember number 87, Brandon Pettigrew?
Oh yeah. I was like, they didn't have him, but yeah. No, you're right. I mean that's a fair comparison, yeah.
Same
C
type of
plus, that's
style,
fine.
right?
Yeah.
Because remember, he started off as a real high volume catcher, and then went more to blocking, but you
Right.
could still go to him, for big receptions if you needed to. So I'm with you. This is a B. I like it. It proved last year that you can't have enough good tight ends, man. You can't just put anybody at tight end 3.
Yeah, your bread and butter is going to be Sam Laporta. That is your dude. He is one of the top 5 tight ends in the NFL when healthy. But Conklin is a legit tight end too. And if something happens to Laporta where he misses a game or two, this guy, you might not miss that much of a beat because I just gave you those numbers. He can catch the ball and have a successful season catching the ball. He did like 5 years of doing that. So
I agree. Let's go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
There's your boy.
My boy, yes.
Brought him back.
I'm glad. Yeah. Listen, a lot of people don't like Rodrigo, but I'm going to tell you right now that Rodrigo fits 2 roles. And Shep's even said this himself, so it's not just me being a fanboy of him. Like, Shep sees Rodrigo as a starter if needed. Now, is he better than Jack? Is he better than Barnes? No. But he could be that third linebacker in packages. Like, he can play. And Shep believes in this guy. Also, too, this guy is killer in special teams.
Well, you remember that when they were on Hard Knocks, Nate, and
I
Shep
know.
was the linebackers coach, and he said, y'all are forcing me to play the rookie. Do you want me? It's like,
yeah, no, I remember that. It was hilarious because he was literally shitting on everybody. But like Rodrigo can play, man. He plays with heart. He's just short, but he plays hard. And I'm glad we brought him back, and I'm glad he wanted to come back. He said he could have gone somewhere else, but he really wanted to stay in Detroit. And they didn't pay him a lot of money, but he loved Detroit and he wanted to stay here. He made a home and all that. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Again, like I said, he's third in the pecking order as far as linebackers. I'm glad we brought him back, but more so, he's a really good special teamer. And the Lions' special teams was kind of shaky this year from coverage standpoints. Like, they got to clean that up. And I'm sure Phipp is very excited to get this guy back. So I give this.
Him and Dorsey were injured.
Right, exactly. So I give this a solid B. Solid B.
So, in a way, Nate, and I know he plays more, but I think like I compare them in the same way. I think he's like the defensive version of Tom Kennedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
He
Rodrigo can play, man. I mean,
he's
he's
not
not a,
he's not
he's not a
sexy,
scrub.
but
Yeah.
he's made big plays for us.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's not a
anytime
scrub.
you
He can
ask him,
play. Like, yeah. I've watched Rodrigo play from college, man. This guy can light it up, man. He's just short. Like, he would have
yeah,
gone higher if he would have been taller. He's just a short guy because he was like a weightlifter or he was a wrestler. But like I said, he's not better than Barnes. He's not better than Jack. He's like your third linebacker in the pecking order, unless we draft somebody early, and that's okay. I'm okay with that because Shep trusts this guy, and he's a hell of a tackler. He doesn't miss a lot of tackles,
no. So let's
and
talk about the next.
he's a core special teamer. He's what they call
Absolutely.
what do they call these guys? Four down guys where they can play all four downs, special teams. Yep. Yeah, there you go. So B.
Let's talk about the next one. DJ Wanham. There was
Okay.
It's kind of like so what I seen when we got this signing was kind of like what you said earlier. Man, some fans just don't know ball, man. And they don't know what the Lions want. Fans, like I gave up years ago because I just seen like what they want, the edge on the opposite of Hutch. So I mean, no matter what I say and feel and cry and scream and moan and pout, and you know what, it's all not going to matter because they want what they want at that other edge spot. And this is a perfect example. But I do believe, Nate, this is an upgrade over Muhammad. And the stats have come out to prove that.
So, stat-wise, this guy and Muhammad are very similar in stats. However, Muhammad got more money than the Lions are willing to give. And the Lions don't overpay for players, which I'm totally fine with that. They pay what they feel they value. And if you go over that value, then you go somewhere else. And they'll go get, it's like remember when Jamal Williams wanted more money and they said, okay, I'll get back to you. And then they go sign Monty. Like they got one hand on the phone. They got one hand talking to you. And they're like, listen, if you don't take our offer, we'll go find your replacement right here. And they sure did. Now, the one thing I will say about what the Lions are doing at pass rushing, it's very obvious now. They want somebody opposite of Hutch that not only can rush the passer, but is big, powerful, and can set the edge. And a lot of times, Aquadine Muhammad struggled stopping the run.
He was awful. Awful.
Yes.
I just said that and the
right.
stats
He did not set the edge. He didn't set the edge well. Now, he could rush the passer, but his numbers were very sporadic. There were some games where he looked really good, and then there's other games you didn't even see him. Yep. So I'm not saying that DJ is going to roll out 11 sacks this year, but I do think that he probably fits the bill of setting the edge more than Aquadine did. And that's a plus because that's going to help your run defense. But on top of that, he does have a pass rushing ability. If you watch his Minnesota tape, I don't think he's as fast as James Houston. No way in hell.
No, at all.
He's a power dude, man. He could possibly be the guy that we were hoping Davenport was. Like he mentioned Davenport. Anybody's better than Davenport, and I agree.
Pascal.
Right. But this guy is good at setting. From what I've heard, this guy is good at setting the edge. And that's going to help your run defense tremendously. Also, too, if he can just push the pocket to Hutch, he's going to get a lot more opportunities at sacks because, Hutch is going to get double team or triple team at times. So DJ, if he can win.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
But he didn't have the speed of Houston. So maybe you're comparing the person, but he didn't have the speed of him. But But this is a sneaky signing for me because, again, the numbers with him and Muhammad are pretty much the same. It's just that Muhammad wanted more money that the Lions were not willing to give. And again, I'm totally fine with that because the stat numbers are still the same. And this guy looks like he's had a little bit more of a career than Aquadine did, because Aquadine really didn't come onto the scene until last year.
This guy has played 20 less games than Muhammad and smashes him and everything.
That's what I'm saying. So he's got more experience and he's shown ability. So I'm okay with this move. I give this a solid C+ move. If he can get at least 8 sacks on the season, I'll move that to a B. But I say a C+ move.
All right. So hold on 1 second. I'm trying to bring up. Gosh, dog it. Of course, my phone don't want to cooperate with me.
You're good.
So he's 28. He'll turn 29 on Halloween. So one of the older signings that we had.
Yeah.
But if you look, so another thing too is this guy plays games, right? So he started his career started in 21, 14, 17, 16, 15. He played 8 and 25 and then 16, right? So he's going to be on the field, right? He's proven that. And then in Carolina, so his numbers dipped a little bit.
Yeah.
In Carolina, but like in 24, Nate, he had 60 tackles and 8 sacks. Yeah, man, that's fantastic.
I mean, he's had some good years. Like he's not a
47 and 8 sacks.
Right.
Last year he had 42 and 3, 37 and 4 in 8 games, right? So that 37 and 4 in 8 games, that was on the trajectory of what he did the year before in 24, right? So
right. And let me just add this to the equation because I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, well, I guess we need to draft a pass rusher." No, we still do. Like the guys that we picked up, this guy and the guy from the Saints, those guys are just possibly rotation pieces. I do think DJ probably will start because of his experience and his age. The Lions don't like to put a lot of young guys out there starting, which I don't blame them because they want to win. So I think he will probably start opposite of Hutch, but we will still probably get a pass rusher in the draft. I just don't know if it's going to be in the first round now. I think that they might be okay with starting DJ and then maybe getting a guy in the second round or whatever.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think it will be a rotation on that other side, but I do believe this is your starter.
Yeah, and then don't forget about Hassasin. Hassasin did not play last year. He's healthy now, and God willing, he stays healthy. I want to see what this guy has because I was a big fan of him from Boise State. So this, you've got Hassasin, you've got Wanham, you've got what's the other dude's name? The one we just got something, I don't remember his name. And then you got Hutch. They'll probably add somebody in the draft. So they're filling out the defensive line.
Yeah, it's going to be but I mean, and again, it's a 1-year contract. So you can come right up off it if he don't give you what you want. If you like it,
right,
and it's affordable, you bring him back. So would you say a C+?
Yeah, I'd give him a C+. Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Let's go to the next one. Roger McCreary.
I like this.
So, a lot of Lions fans were actually not familiar with him.
Yeah, he came from the Titans. The Rams traded for him in the middle season.
I'm in Tennessee. He was drafted by Tennessee.
Okay, so you have more.
I loved watching this guy play. Titans fans were not happy when they traded him last year. Definitely an upgrade over Amik, and he's more of a nickel guy. He can play the outside. He's a thumper. I absolutely loved this signing, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, he's also young too, and he's got a good coverage grade in the nickel spot. It was like 2003, I think they rolled it out, but still, I mean, that was pretty. He had some pretty good grades. I think that maybe, he came from the Titans. Titans aren't very good about developing players. They struggle with that. That's why they've had no success lately. He goes to the Rams. He's in the backfield with Kobe Durant and Forbes or something like that. It was a makeshift secondary they put together. They traded for this guy in the middle of the season. Again, he was kind of learning the system. I think he fits perfect for us because we need a bigger nickel back that could be physical. And it seems like this guy kind of fits the mold.
I liked him at Auburn, Nate.
Yeah, I didn't see him at Auburn, but
I'm in SEC country, so yeah, I've liked.
Yeah, no, I am too, but I didn't know he went to Auburn, but that's interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, I like this signing because again, he's young. It's a 1-year deal. It's kind of a prove it deal. It's like, hey, if you come to Detroit, hold down the nickel spot and play well, we'll give you a longer deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and heaven forbid, like something happens to DJ Reed or TA, this guy could maybe start in a pinch. But I think this is the guy who's going to hold down the nickel spot.
I agree with that.
And I love Meek. Losing Meek sucked, but Meek is a very small cornerback.
Man, he was barbecue chicken last year. I mean, he was awful.
Yeah, he was terrible last year. Part of it was too, the secondary was ass because of all the injuries, but yeah, individual Meek struggled. That was probably Meek's worst year. And again, Meek went to another team for more money. Yeah. So the Lions had a value of what they were going to pay Meek, and he wanted more. And they're like, dude, you sucked last year. I'm telling you, the Lions fit, Brad and Dan are very transparent people. You kind of saw that on Hard Knocks when they had those conversations with the guys they're about to cut. Like, I don't think they said you suck, but hey, we're going to pull out your grades and look at how your coverage was. You were one of the worst cornerbacks in the NFL. And you expect for more money? It's kind of like with the Decker situation. Decker, you were fucking terrible last year. And you want more money? Like, I don't know about you, but if you suck at your job, are you going to get more money? Hell no. You're probably going to get the boot. So, I mean, like, it's just funny because, like, some of these players didn't get better and they want more money. No, I'm not paying you, bro. Yeah. Finally, yeah. A B. I agree.
And Dan's starting to get that reputation around the league where guys are wanting to come play for him. Like McCreary said, he wanted to play for Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's never a bad thing, right? Like, I've been a Lions fan long enough. Mm-hmm. I remember when this was like, that's why, like, when I see guys leave too and go to other teams, I get like, that's kind of different too, right? Usually our coaches and, from what I know growing up, our coaches and players, they didn't go nowhere else, Nate.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. Like in the past years, if you left Detroit, you didn't get another opportunity.
No.
But now, and see, this is why I keep going back to what I said. All the players that left Detroit, they left for more money. So when you're getting outbid by other teams, that tells you two things. A, the Lions are standing on business and aren't going to give you more than they feel that you're worth. And two, other teams value somebody that's coming from the Lions.
Yeah.
Like they feel like, hey, this guy could help us on this roster. Or, hey, this guy could be a good piece. Or, hey, this guy knows how to build a culture or comes from a good culture, which we never thought we used those words with the Lions.
No.
And they're valued. Coaches too. Hey, this guy could be a great coach for us. because of Dan Campbell. Like, it all falls at Dan Campbell's feet, man. Like,
and good
so
players never wanted to come play for us.
Right, exactly. And that narrative has gone to shit. I mean, now is a narrative out there that we're cheap? Yes. But we're cheap because we have to. But the one thing I will say about Brad, is if you ball out, Brad will pay you. Now, again, he's not going to overpay you, but he'll pay you. He'll give you a bump. Like, I'm sure he gave all these guys good contracts, but they got money somewhere else.
There's one guy that,
and you know what?
That I think he's overpaid for. There's one guy on our roster who I think's been overpaid so far.
Who?
Aline.
I'll agree to disagree on that one, because here's why. When Aline got paid, he was balling out. He was playing at a very high level. And what happened? He tore his ACL. Okay. So ACLs, not everybody recovers from ACLs the same way. I think because Aline's a bigger guy, it's probably more of a 2-year injury than it was a 1-year injury. And I think he maybe came back a little too soon. So I think, and I hope, but I think you're going to see a better version of Aline McNeil this year, because he's going to be fully healthy, 2 years off the ACL. And then if he sucks ass, then that's a different story. We'll have that debate. But I think he's going to be better off a 2-year ACL injury. Like, I need to see him next year to have a better judgment on him.
I hope so. If not,
I hope so too.
I'm all over him. Him and Jared Goff. Fans are the reason why I hate them so much, because they climb all over my fucking boy Hutch, and all that motherfucker does is produce, and they over him so damn much every freaking little thing he does. But damn, them two do something.
People need to stop hating on Goff and Hutch, because both of those guys are key pieces of our success. Period.
So would you say a B?
Oh yeah, I give us a B, possibly a B+ if he really balls out. But yeah, solid B.
I agree with that. Let's go to the next one.
All right.
Oh, okay, I got a lot to say about this.
This one's a little bit of a head scratcher. But go ahead, I'll let you go first.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
No, you go first.
So, absolutely hate it, but I kind of chuckle too, because all them fans, if I get that Davenport signing notification, I'm going to throw a hissy fit. This dude has played 31 games in 5 years. He's missed 37, and that don't even count last year not even being in the league because of injury. This is the worst signing. I mean, I would have rather had Davenport. Yes, I said it. I would have rather had Davenport.
Oh, you're going to be catching strays on that one.
I don't give a damn. Like, this is kind of what Lions fans get, right? Like, they cry and cry. I better not get that Davenport notification. Oh, and then this guy comes across. Like, this is.
I think the running joke. Yeah.
He was a first-round draft pick, Nate, but oh my God, man.
Yeah, I think the running joke on this guy was that they got the wrong Saints guy, because I'm a big Cam Jordan fan. I would love to get Cam Jordan.
Yeah.
They got the wrong Saints guy.
You're telling me you would rather have this guy over Davenport?
Yeah. Listen, I don't know a lot about this guy. He's clearly right, exactly. He's clearly catching strays from everybody. So all I'll say about this dude is it's probably not even a deal, which means that they probably could walk away from him in the training camp situation or whatever. So just like Davenport was, like people freak the fuck out of Davenport, but really they didn't pay Davenport a lot of money. Like people get so up in arms thinking that we mortgaged the future on these guys. Like, dude, They just took a flyer on this dude. I'm okay with it. If this guy doesn't work out, you move the fuck on. Like we talked about, they can go in the draft and go get 2 wins if they want to. They probably will. So it's a camp body. It's somebody that maybe if they stay healthy, maybe they come out and maybe they produce. Who the fuck knows? I will say this, and this speaks to Lions fans. People shit all over Aquadine Muhammad. Oh, who's this bum? Or I never heard of this guy. Well, yeah. And you know what? I would say Brad did a pretty good job with that guy because he actually had some decent seasons with the Lions. He had a bust-out season where got him paid at 11 sacks. So, I mean, I trust Brad, man. Whatever Brad's doing, I'm going to trust him because he's had more hits than misses. And anybody who says less than that, you need to go watch football or you need to go watch Brad's thing. Because, people say, oh, he just drafts well. No, he's got some free agent guys good too. He got Maddox, who played well last year. Rocky Sin, another guy we re-signed, played well last year that he got. Aquadine Muhammad, a guy that everybody shit on, he played out well. Like, he's gotten guys. It's just not the sexy names that the fans want, But this is the camp body, man. I mean, I wouldn't say F. I would just say incomplete because I don't know what.
This is an F until I'm proven different.
Yeah.
This is trash.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just gonna say incomplete because I don't know what to expect from this guy. So if I don't know, I'm gonna say incomplete.
More than a DNP. I hope I'm proved wrong, but I'm on the pod.
I mean, but get money, but he has to do that because, like I said before, we've paid so much of our guys that, dude, we don't have the money in the bank to go out and get the big names like you want. Like, dude, I want Cam Jordan. I would love Cam Jordan. We can't afford Cam Jordan, and I think they don't want to get Cam Jordan. Also, he's 36 years old. Who knows what you're going to get out of a 36-year-old when he comes over to our team? So you have to bargain bin when you don't have the money. Okay, look at Chicago. Chicago wants Decker so bad. Like it's already rumored out there that Ben's talked to Decker and he wants Decker to come play for him in Chicago. They don't have the money to get Decker. They're capped out. They don't have any money. So that's what I'm trying to say is, like, when you don't have money, you can't do shit. Okay? If you don't have money in your bank account, you can't go to McDonald's, right? I mean, it's just simple facts, man. Like, I don't understand why Lions fans feel like we have this abundance of money to just go out and get every fucking good guy that's on the free agency. It doesn't work that way. We don't have the money. No tengo de dinero. I don't know how many fucking times I could say that. We don't have the money to go out and get these big guys. So we have to go bargain shopping, okay? And that's fine. I'm okay with that because if it means we sign our own guys that we have draft developed and praised and loved, I'm totally fine with it because those guys are worthy of it. Yeah, $30 million in cap. You want me to break that down for you, get money? 15 to 10 million is going to go for the draft class. So really only at 15 million. So who are you getting that 15 million to?
Well, not only that, like, you also have to save your money in case you got to go. There's an injury or
that too, but also too, they're thinking about doing an extension. They're probably going to extend Gibbs at the end of the season before the season starts. So but that money's already tied up, bro. It's already tied up.
The biggest. So another thing that I think Brad does really well, other than drafting, Nate, is signing his players early, right? Like we've seen it with the Bengals, right? They coughed and they coughed and they coughed and they coughed at signing Hendrickson, and look how that ended up. They coughed and they coughed and they coughed at signing Chase. Man, they end up having to pay him more, right?
Exactly.
So, what I said earlier, yesterday's price ain't today's price, right?
Exactly. And that's one thing. And that's one thing Brad does right.
Them contracts look great now, don't they, Nate?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's one thing. That's
one when he signed,
right.
and now he's like what fifth.
Right. And that's another point that people don't understand. Like Brad looks at the market and understands who's coming down the pipe for other teams.
Yeah.
So that's what he did with Goff. He made him the highest paid, and then what? He's now 10th the highest paid, 10th quarterback highest paid, or whatever it is, or 5th or whatever.
Yeah.
You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra was the highest paid at some point. Now he's like
For like
10th
one
on the
day.
list. Yeah, I mean, like Penei Sewell, same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
he sees the market. He pays them what the market says right now, but he's not going to wait too long and let them become more expensive. Like,
Yeah.
I love what he did with JMO. Like, he gave JMO the extension now, and people are like, well, why'd you do that? Well, because now JMO can bust out and just go crazy, and you still have him under contract.
Yeah.
You know, and he's going to outplay that contract. I'm telling you, man, the best of JMO is still yet to come. Okay,
I mean,
he's gonna get better and better. Like, and you've
he had
already
a
paid
better
him.
year last year.
Yeah, he's gotten better
than
every
the year
year.
before.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
how many games where he didn't even get no targets,
yeah,
let
exactly.
alone
But
catches?
he's a hell of a blocker. He's a good guy. He stays out of trouble for the most part. You know, like he's only going to get better, and you've already paid him, so you don't have to worry about that situation coming up. You know, you're not like the Cowboys who overpay for everybody that gets good. Like Pickens now, I mean, they franchised him, but if they didn't franchise him, they're going to pay a lot more money than he's worth. You
Give me
know,
JMO
Brad
over
don't do
Pickens
that.
any day. Give me JMO over
Yeah,
Metcalf any day. And I'll tell you why before people start climbing. One of the greatest attributes of JMO is, I mean, the talent's there, right? That's in question. That dude is like Jameer Gibbs. Anytime he touches the ball, he's likely to go for seven, go for
yeah,
six,
and
right?
he's got a great heart, man. He's got a great
But
heart. He loves ball. He blocks his ass off. Like he's
that's
a
the
team
thing I
player.
love the most, Nate,
Oh,
is
sure, I agree.
remember when he was in that doghouse? How did he get out the
Mm-hmm.
doghouse?
Yeah.
Blocking, keeping his mouth shut, doing what was asked of him. When he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
get catches, you don't ever see him cry. The media tries, and what does he say? Hey, I just
Yeah.
do what my team needs me to do. Man, I'm there for that all day, Nate. Sign me up. Sign me up
I'm
for a
I'm
team
with you,
guy.
bro. I'm with you.
Sign me up all day long. He gives
Mm-hmm.
back to the community. There's so much positive you could say about that young
Mm-hmm.
man. I'm sorry,
Agreed.
I get so animated because so many people want to
No, it
always.
just people don't understand what they're trying to do, and I'm trying to help them understand it. Like I'm trying to help you.
Oh yeah, I get that. You are, yeah.
You know, I'm trying to educate y'all on what's going on. You can't just y'all just think like Brad just hates everybody and just wants to see the Lions fail. That's not his thing. He's got a plan of how he wants to do it, and he's trying to tell you, but some people just don't want to listen. That's fine. You don't want to listen, then don't listen. There's 31 other teams you can go have fun with. So, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly, man. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in.
Oh, we talk about
Appreciate it.
Dortch.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's all
I
right.
was just giving a quick little thank you
No, you're
to
good.
everyone who paid attention. Thank you for the ones who
Yeah, thank you.
hopped in and communicated with us. Appreciate that. Always
Hmm.
appreciate the banter, good and bad.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, who's next?
Well, I think Dortch was. Well, we didn't talk about Larry, but we can talk real quick about those guys. So Larry, I think Larry, unless and see, I'm trying to follow Brad's method right now of what he's doing. Getting DJ Wantham tells me that he's probably going to be your starter opposite of Hutch. He's going to play the Aquadine role. I still think they're going to get a pass rusher in the draft, but now I think the way the board is looking, those pass rushers are not going to be available by the time the Lions get their pick.
There's there's one that I'm looking for in the second or third round, depends where he goes. And I've
Mm-hmm.
been saying this for years. But anytime I ever say that, say a player from
Mm-hmm.
this school, I get jumped over and I like Derek Moore from Michigan.
Yeah, I mean he's a possibility.
Him
Um,
or the guy from Penn State.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
You know who I'm talking about?
Maybe. I'm not totally sure.
I forgot.
I just know the ones in the first round, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
um
Those are two that I like.
but I think there's rumors out there that Decker might come back. Um, I haven't heard a lot about it, so I'm not holding my breath. But I do think that if they don't go pass rusher in the first round, it's probably either going to be a tackle or it's going to be trade down because they don't have a third round pick. So I think if they're going to trade down, they're going to want a third round pick in return, so they can get another guy. But if they go tackle, I don't think the guy from Georgia is going to be available. They have him going pretty high unless the Lions trade up for him, which they could. I think Proctor probably is more of your bet at tackle in that space. So, which is fine. I like Proctor. Proctor's an athletic freak. And if you can get Proctor on one side and Sewell on the other side, you're talking about two damn good tackles going forward.
I want the guy from Miami.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen too. So he's a possibility, or Fano or something like that.
Yeah,
from
Utah. You got the Utah Tech, and then
Yeah.
I think it's his name, Blake Miller from Clemson. Miller's his last name.
Yeah, he was projected to go on one of their mock drafts too. So I think the way I look at it, I think tackle is probably going to be on the forefront, and maybe they go pass rusher in the second round. But I'm telling you right now, if we don't take a pass rusher in the first round, they're going to burn the city of Detroit down, because they know that people don't see what Wantham brings, and they're like, oh, we need to get a pass rusher. Okay, fine. So, but it's not going to be the pass rusher everybody thinks it is, because again, any pass rusher you're putting opposite of Hutch has to be able to set the edge and has to be a bigger power kind of guy. You don't need a speed guy on that side. You need a guy who's going to set the edge and push your player into Hutch so we can get a sack. So I think Larry makes sense right now. He could be the starting right tackle and move Panay to the left, and I think they'd be okay with that. But I think they will take a tackle in the first round. But I do like the Larry signing because you get a starter regardless. He started with Miami. He's played in Miami. He's a plug and play guy day one. If you want your right tackle to be that guy and move Panay to left. And I don't think you're going to miss a beat with Panay on the other side.
So I agree with everything you say.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add, even if you do draft a tackle at number 17 in the first round, Nate, if he's not ready, you got to Larry Borum.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, they're good either way. If Decker don't come back, they got Larry. That's fine. If Decker comes back, then Larry becomes your swing tackle. No problem there. You didn't pay him a lot of money. He could be a good swing tackle. We know Decker's kind of long in the tooth, so if you do bring him back, you have to understand that he had his worst year last year, so who knows what you're going to get with him this year. But real quick, let's also talk about Greg Dortch, the receiver
what do you
that
give
came.
That Larry signing real quick.
Larry, I give it a solid C+. I think that he could be a B+ if he plays well at right tackle if we go that route. But if Decker comes back or they get a tackle in the draft and they really like him and they start him over Larry, then Larry's your swing tackle. No, I'm okay with that because you need a swing tackle. Skipper retired, so you need somebody. I don't think Manu is going to be that guy, at least not right now.
No, I done gave up on that shit.
Well, he's still on the roster, so. But
no,
anyways,
I know, but I mean,
maybe they move him to guard. I don't know, but you need a swing tackle. So Larry fits that mold, either swing tackle or starting right tackle. Real quick, I just want to talk about Greg Dortch. I really like this move. I think it's really sneaky. He comes from Drew Pretzing's offense, so he's got a lot of familiarity with this guy. If you watch his tape, he's wiggly. He slashes. He's got speed. He kind of looks like a Khalif Raymond. That's why I'm saying that I would probably give him the nod to be our returner going forward. But he's going to compete with Lovett and compete with TK but I think he wins it because of his shiftiness and his ability to wiggle and have speed. And he's a bigger guy. So there. Yeah.
I know 5'7", 180.
He's 5'7"?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh man. Well, okay. Then he's exactly Khalif Raymond. I thought he was a bigger guy. Oh man. Okay. Well, he plays bigger than his size. Because if you watch some of his catches, he's catching some contested balls at his size.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I don't
appreciate the feedback, Mo.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you chiming in tonight. But yeah, I did like that. You did go younger. I do see his return in that, like, I could see that Khalif role, that fourth or fifth wide receiver.
Yeah, you're right. 5'7". Wow. Holy crap. Yeah. He's exactly the same size as a Khalif, but
yeah, I like that, man. I do. I'm agree with you. I think, so far. So I want to do one thing before we wrap it up, Nate. We did individual. Oh, what would you give this grade?
I give it a solid C+.
All right. One last thing, real quick. What would you give the overall Lions offseason so far?
Oh, overall right now, C+. I think it's solid. I think it could be better with the season. I mean, they're not big names, but they fit what we need. So.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone that tuned in, and thank you to those, especially Get Money, for chiming in and interacting with us tonight. Thank you, Nate, for having a show.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, good
really
show.
Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell them where they can find you one more time.
One Ass Cheek and Three Toes on YouTube. Check us out. Like and subscribe.
Catch me on X at Riggs928. Peace out, y'all.